are on. Sorry for the slight delay. I kind of have to do my updates manually because the sharing software is not doing the whole sharing part. It apparently needs to watch a couple episodes of Care Bears. First things first, as usual, we are going to pose the rules as we start nice and comfy and easy. And have a little sip of Kool-Aid because I'm thirsty. Everything's working well. Yes, good. Goody, goody gumdrops. So, of course, today it is Saturday, which is, say it with me now, the first Saturday of the month, which means the Colors of the Month Challenge. So what do we have today? We have a list, we have the pens, we have the markers. Let's get started. Of course, the challenge of the month is done by the Olo Markers Company. I have no Olo markers, but if they want to support me, if they want to, send a couple markers once in a while, I won't say no. I will not say no. I'm pretty sure that's going to be one big fat bold italics. Yes. And the colors this month are O 2.5 Caramel, OR 3.4 Latte, and YO 2.7 Sepia. Therefore, what am I replacing that with? Because as I said, I do not have any Olo markers. I will tell you the hex codes real quick, because I looked them up, because I'm that kind of person. If you guys want to play around with those colors digitally after we're done, or while we're done, I mean, some people like to work during these live streams. It would be CF6B28, B9794D, 7C5724. And that is the hex codes for those colors. And then, what did I pick for markers? My Ohuhus, my beloved Ohuhus. I still have my Copics, mind you. I just really like the nibs on the Ohuhus better. And they're more affordable. That helps a frickin' lot, let me tell you. So, we are starting with the YR170 Chrome Orange. A very yellow orange, but still technically orange. We're not exactly going to complain. E490 Deep Orange, which is clearly a beige. I'm sorry, but when I see deep, I imagine a much darker color than this. It's still a lovely color, but I imagine darker. This is more muted than deep. Of course, that is my personal opinion. They're the company. They call the color whatever they want. Freedom of expression and all that. And finally, a Y270 Pale Ochre. Though I'm pretty sure in English, ochre has an H. But once again, I'm not going to tell them how to live their life. And... oh, that's a hair. Probably my hair. I did just rub my eyebrows just now. I was worried for half a second that this could have been cracked. And what did I do in chameleons? Everything is very yellow-orange. I think it was pretty similar for October. October I had a green, a more greener, but it's very similar to last month. I hope they get like really wild for Christmas. Here's hoping. Knock on wood. I have OR Tree Tangerine. These I'm still worried that I won't be able to work with them too much in the near future. NU. I said that in English and French at the same time. NU. NU. NU4 Caramel. And BR1 Taupe, which I don't use often to begin with. I love gimmick supplies, and this is a gimmick supplies because there's, of course, the ink in the barrel as usual, but there's also a barrel of ink over here. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to grab the cap, swap it out with another marker, or in this case a liner, put the cap on, wait a couple seconds, literally like 2 and 3 is just fine, pull it out, and then you have a gradient. I never do that. I should do that more often. I'm not that experimental with these. And that is because, actually, I have yet to find a source to get them individually online. That is my problem. And, like, Chameleon are pretty quiet. They've been pretty quiet this year and the year before. And they recently finally put their new website online, so I went there and I asked my question. Like, are you going to be able to sell these individually or have stores that sell them individually? And I think I asked this question this summer and I have not received a reply. So I have this slight feeling that they simply do not give a shit. And I'm not a fan of art companies that don't give a shit. Because then what's the point? What is the bloody point? You have to give a shit. Now, if you talk about companies that do give a shit, I can give you a couple. I got Jet Pens, I got Ohuhu that give a shit when I email them. Culture Hustle, they give all the shit. I love them. I don't have a lot of their stuff, but I love using what I do have. I cannot get enough of the lit pigment. I experiment so much with that. I did get some new stuff from Jet Pens, talking about them. The one thing I will show, because one is simply completely invisible, and the other one is not really related to art. I got a glue pen, a ballpoint glue pen. I just tried it. The glue is very good. It applies blue and it dries clear from what I'm seeing on my paper over here that you guys can't see on the left. Of course, it's Zig Kuretake because I am a ho for Kuretake. So if you got Kuretake, Zig Kuretake, if you're listening to me right now, if you want to help support me and sponsor me and send me some stuff, or a discount at least, or something. I love your stuff. I got all your Gensai Tombies. And yet, the completely transparent stuff is a pencil board. I'm just not using it on the stream because compared to the pencil sheet, quote unquote, for that comes with every Ohuhu set, this one is very shiny and you guys are going to be very annoyed by the shininess. Also, it frickin' stinks, so I want to let it air out a little bit. But what are we here for? We're here for randomly generated art that is actually drawn by a real person, surprisingly enough. So we're just gonna move this to the side over here. I'm gonna grab this real quick and put it to the side so I can use it more easily. And we are bringing the Wheel of Morality. We still have a big shine, but it's not gonna stay for long. So I have all the suggestions, the art requests. I will only be doing 4. that I received yesterday in my Instagram stories. Let's start. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. And we are starting with Mothra. And because I'm getting better at organizing my shit, I got all the references since yesterday before bed. Snapping my little fingers because I have cramps, because I'm an old fart. Of course, be reminded of my little throne community donation thingy in the corner for an electric sharpener, so I can be easier on my lids. Because sometimes I'm not good and I bend my pencil when I'm trying to work, and that's just me being a freaking idiot. Where is my... Speaking of being a freaking idiot, where did my... Oh, wait, I know where it is. The problem is I had two and the other one is somewhere on the floor. Come here. I'm going to need you for something else. I'm going to ask Mom for more of these. Like, I've got some wooden ones that just clamp, but I feel that these twisty ones are much better. They really hold, they clamp down on the pencil. And like that the pencil doesn't push back inside the body. Let's go for a very caramelized Mothra. Of course, this would work better if I actually draw the body and not just the head and the thorax. She's not going to go far with that. Yes, I'm not completely ignorant. I know Mothra is female. I was today years old when I learned that she had so many feet. And honestly, she kind of looks made out of pipe cleaners. I don't really super erase a lot when doing sketching. I feel it's more organic when I just draw over and refine. When I pencil, it's better to clean up as I go. It's kind of like that scribbly style of sketching that I've seen in the How to Draw the Marvel Way books. Books. I only have one. I have How to Ink the DC Way. I I have a lot of how-to books. I am very interested in learning and relearning and checking up what I'm doing, making sure I'm doing it right, and failing miserably, but loving the results anyway. Also, for those regulars that are wondering why I put the colors of the month challenge image in place of my photo in the status screen, because usually it's me, it's because I don't have enough rigging to place my webcam on top of my drawing desk. I would need so much rigging for everything to be nice and solid and placed, and I don't. So... It's gonna make my life a little easier that way. Well, I'm gonna put the slight, there we go. I can put whatever texture I want. It's my drawing. I don't know why I'm looking at Mothra and I'm thinking Maya the Bee, because I used to watch the Maya the Bee anime when I was a kid. Because I was born and raised in Quebec, we had access to so much anime. Because we pretty much had, quote-unquote, the leftovers from France. We used to get a lot of stuff from France. Now it's... Well, it's still relevant, but it's more seen in the books. We get a lot of European books. I mean, I got the whole collection of Asterix right now, and I'm waiting on Christmas for l'Iris Blanc. Well, she's not called Mothra for nothing. She's so fluffy. She's so fluffy, I'm gonna die. Well, that makes for interesting textures, and I'm not against interesting textures. I quite like them, in fact. Now we're going to cut that wing the way it's supposed to be cut. Of course, I have a reference off screen right here. It's one thing to be challenged with drawing something you've never drawn before. It's another completely to try and do it from memory. Like, this is not that kind of challenge, okay? We're gonna put some limits there. There's already so many handicaps. Gotta give myself a chance too here. If you're watching, say hi. You're not allowed. You're not allowed. I'm sorry. You're not expected to carry on a full-on conversation, but a little hi here and there is always nice. I don't bite hard. Like, obviously, there's some stuff you're not allowed to do. But I'm not gonna stop you from saying hi. A little hi is nice. A little hello. I almost went full Toad mode here, but my throat is not good for Toad mode right now. Of course, I'm allowed to use black and white in the pieces. I don't really wanna. Because then it would kind of cut on the challenge, wouldn't it? And especially since they went from Marker Universe to Olo markers. They took out also the restriction of only using the 3 colors they suggest as the colors of the month. Like, they always allowed black and white. What I'm talking about is that when using skin tones, they removed that restriction. You can use any kind of skin tone when working with the 3 colors of the month challenge. Then what is the point at that point, you know? Well, now let's try to do the line art without jamming my light that's right above my phone into my eyebrow. And very important, stay within the camera. Fuzzy, fuzzy, fuzzy. Hope you guys can hear the music kind of okay. My mic is much farther from my computer than it is during the usual Sunday live stream. Of course, we can't forget the Kickstarter for Barbarian Queen Charybdis. We are down to 13 days. We are past the halfway point for funding, but we need that thing to be funded completely if you guys want the book. So go to Kickstarter, look up Barbarian Queen, and there's like only 2 projects, and ours is Barbarian Queen Charybdis. So you're looking for the letter K. And if you want a little taste of what we have in store, there is the ash can that is available in my Ko-fi shop. It has a simple story called The Tongue Ting, which is surprisingly hard for me to say now that I think about it. I like this part of her wing. It kind of looks like flames. And this part looks like a galaxy from far away. And this one just looks like a silly little monster. Hee! And another one that's laughing. She's being a very silly girl. Whoop. Now we are going to hang her up. Have a little sippy sip. Bonk. Let her dry. And while I have my sippy sip, I'm just going to go check on something. Ah. All right. I'd say sorry about my burps, but it's gonna happen again, so what you gonna do about it? Next. Wheel of Morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. And now we have Waluigi. People are a big fan of Waluigi. This is the second time in a short period of time that Waluigi is requested. But gotta give the people what they want. That's going to be a very caramelized Waluigi. Oops. Not this one. Wah, not this one. I just did, but I don't really like using my fingers to push Sharpie away from my art. Because there are some microscopic grease and fluids and dirt on your fingers, and you can smudge something and ruin your paper, and I don't want that. Wah. Now that I look at this render, Waluigi actually has slight Popeye arms, don't he? Like, I like drawing him, like, ridiculously skinny in the comic, but turns out he actually has some meat. Not a lot, but he has some meat. And this is how I draw roses. Would look so much better if I actually put some effort, but nah. You know what I like to do? Draw eyebrows on top of the caps when it comes to the plumbers. I don't know for you guys, but I am so frickin' hyped for Super Mario RPG HD. I have never been this hyped for a remake since, like, Final Fantasy IV for the Game Boy. Like, I've learned a lot about the stuff that they changed and added, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to play through that so bad. The one thing I'm not happy about is that they changed Frog Fuchsius back to Frog Sage, and that is not as fun as Frog Fuchsius. Like, I'm okay with Magda Knife being replaced by Clay Morton, and I'm kinda okay with Yaridovich being changed to Speardovich. Speardovich makes more sense in localization, because that's his name in Japanese. Yaridovich is Spear. There's a good chance they might change Culex to Crystaller. That I haven't seen any confirmation yet, but Culex is gonna be in the game, so... And there's going to be some special enemies, which are kind of similar to Metal Slimes. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course the new way to battle. That's gonna be exciting. I pre-ordered my copy back in September, so it's likely I'm gonna get it a bit later than the release, because I pre-ordered my copy in the next town over. How's that for a Waluigi? That doing something for ya? Hope you guys like your Waluigi pumpkin spiced. Because that's what's gonna happen. Stay in the camera, Shiro. I don't know why they recently decided to have him ham it up like he's like Don Flamenco or something, but this is not criticism. I like it. Fake it till you make it, eh? And he's just showing he has all the confidence. There we go. Line art done. I'm gonna put him up, and then we're gonna pull down Mothra and finish her up. And then we'll go for the third idea. Whatever it's going to be. Because remember, I only do 4 of these. That's why I wish good luck to everyone submitting their requests. I am absolutely in love with this store brand strawberry and watermelon Kool-Aid mix. I love it. Okay, let's see what I can do with these. It's a little complicated with Mothra because she does share a lot of the colors, while at the same time these colors are much darker than what she actually is. So of course, improvise, adapt, overcome. Now here I'm going to have to use the orange for her eye. Reuse the ochre for her feet. When it comes to stuff like that, like, you have zero choice but to trust the process. So focused. Now we're gonna do a little something something. It does not say anything about not using blenders. Now for the black area, I'm going to use this caramelly color, and I'm probably going to layer it a couple times to darken it. She's going to look delicious. Pumpkin spice Mothra. Now I don't know if you guys can tell the slight difference between the Copic nibs and the Ohuhu nibs from this distance. I will say that I feel at least like I have more control with the Ohuhu nibs. I'm not super the type to use the chisel end, and I should, honestly. But then again, in art, there's a lot of things that I should be doing that I don't do. Well, hello. Hang on, you're a little far from me. Cash Banuka. Hello, Cash. What do you mean bomb costs 10? I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my bot. Since when do bombs cost money? Great, something else I gotta have to go check in the stream avatar software after the stream. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to drop some fairies. If you do the jump command to catch them, that's going to earn you some gills that you can use for bombs. At least you'll get to play with them a little bit. You can also play the slot machine by typing in the slot command, S-L-O-T, and that can earn you some gil too. So now I am 2 years old when I find out that bombs are a paid item. I gotta go see if I can turn that off. But I can't right now. As soon as I log off, though, promise. There we go. Now, as I said I would, I'm going to put a second layer to darken it. I'm not going to put second layer on the other two colors, because then the values are going to be similar again. And then I'll oversaturate the paper, and it's not going to be happy. Oh, hi, Paul. Managed to catch at least some of your show today. That one looks great. Thank you. It's a pumpkin spice Mothra. I'm trying to darken the black bits a little bit, because I'm stubborn and I don't want to use actual black even if I'm allowed for this challenge. Though when it comes to adding shines, I have no problem breaking that rule and adding some white. Because the paper is already white, that's why. And with that, I'm just gonna add a little bit. We're gonna scruff her up a little bit, add some dimension. She's gonna be pretty, pretty, pretty for the ball. There we go. Apparently I can't sign my name. There we go. Well, just to match, I'm going to darken up that S. There we go. And now we have Mothra! One last thing. Final thing. And if you guys follow my streams, you know what that sound is. There. That's it. That's all. I can hang her up to dry. And we are moving to coloring Waluigi, and then we'll move to the third and fourth prompts. How's that sound for you? Not like you guys can have an opinion. This is my show. I do what I want. What I like about all these eraser Sharpies that I get to use Bumbo afterwards. It's a little eraser Sharpie picker-upper. Shaped like a little round car with two wheels. It's adorable. I love it. And practical. Oh, it's not that the music stops. It's that it has a really weak opening from the not sound of it. I was like, did it freeze? Someone explain to me how you can draw Waluigi without saying wah at least once. It's chronic at this point. Because those colors are going to be different, I can get away with using the quote-unquote black color for Luigi's hair. I have ordered a new art supply off of AliExpress. This live stream not sponsored by AliExpress. I'm probably going to be doing a little video of me trying it out. If you guys are interested. Though at this point it's really for gimmick purposes because I am absolutely head over heels in love with my G-Pen and my Maru nibs. But like they were like what, $350? So $350. Yeah, I'm gonna make his nose bright orange. What is the point of giving him a giant pink nose and me not trying to highlight it when I don't have access to pink? Also, for those wondering why there's only one item in the bargain bin, when I opened the bargain bin in my coffee shop, somebody bought like 90% of the stock. Will there be more stuff in the bargain bin this month? There will be. There will be. You just gotta be patient with me because I kind of have to schedule myself a lot this end of the year and the whole of next year, I would say. And like the bargain bin is for art experiments, and there's going to be versions 1.0 of a couple things. Because this is not really a spoiler. I do plan on making the rest of the Paper Mario cast, basic cast. I will soon be putting Paper Mario 2.0 up in the regular shop, or maybe the bargain bin. I just want to make at least one other Paper Mario, and then gonna put up another Paper Luigi, which should be better than the one that was in the bargain bin. Paper Peach and Paper Bowser. I have some secret characters I plan on making. And then I plan to go right ahead and do some characters that are not necessarily in the Paper Mario universe or even the Mario universe. Because the point with those cards was to make Paper Mario style trapped characters. So it's not going to necessarily stick itself to just Paper Mario characters. But it will be in the Paper Mario style. That's what we're going for. And with that, we are done with Pumpkin Spice Waluigi. Gonna put him up and then pull out the Wheel of Morality again. Would work better if I actually put on the app. There we go. So sorry for the glare. So, Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. And I will be drawing Sylvain and Philia. Now this one is going to require another horizontal card. Now Sylvain and Philia will not end up in the shop because they are original characters. Well, Sylvain belongs to me. Philia sadly does not. So I can't really do much about that. And I broke my... Friendly reminder, there is a community donation for an electric sharpener. Come on, I was being so careful. What is wrong with you? Do you have anxiety? Again. What the? Good enough. I have some sort of sharp corner. Can you blame me from being annoyed? This is usually a really good sharpener. Maybe I just need to change the blades. I have spare blades for it. Anyway, this one I'm not going to need references because I know who these two characters are. I designed both, so yeah. I'm okay. I'm annoyed, but I'm okay. These pencils are usually better quality than this. Is it my storing? Is it that they don't like the way I store them? What is going on? Okay, it's the pencil. I mean, come on. Tengo más. Tengo más. Okay. Un lápiz nuevo. Okay. No, I'm not gonna get annoyed enough that I'm going to do the rest of the live stream in Spanish. My Spanish is not that good. I'm gonna give her a poofy dress because Philia is a princess after all. And a little glove for Sylvain, because Sylvain is a little knight. Oh, I did it again. I hate it. I don't want to use my finger to wipe eraser Sharpie. I'm gonna make her chubby, if only because she's young. They're both young, but Philia is like 4 years younger than Sylvain. So focused. I gotta remember to... There we go. Do not pencil that. Sylvain does not have an eyebrow on that side. The thing basically with Sylvain is that he's adopted and he lost his mother in a house fire. And he tried to pull her out, but he was 4 at the time. So of course he wasn't strong enough. So he's permanently scarred. I'm gonna take this one out. I think, because I meant for her to be jumping, but I think the angle of the dress is a little too harsh. And she's meant to be very, very small and short. So there. Stay in the camera, Shiro! Oh yeah, now you decide to try and focus when I got my arm in front. Aren't you so good at picking priorities, camera? So what's happening is that they both have their own sets of parents. Sylvain is adopted, Philia is biological, and the two families are incredibly close, so they consider themselves brother and sister. So what's basically happening is that Sylvain's right eye is dead. You can still move it, but it doesn't see anything anymore. And Philia has heterochromia. She happens to have a blue eye in the same place as Sylvain has a dead eye. So they pretty much consider themselves brother and sister. That's why Sylvain wants to become a knight. He wants to be strong enough to protect his loved ones. And this decision was like set in stone when his baby sister was born. Not too long after he was adopted, actually. And Philia is a princess, and her mother has magic powers, so she has magic powers. Her mother, like, can attract animals, like cute ones. So Philia can actually talk to animals. Since this is like 4 years later, Sylvain's hair is starting to grow back a little bit over his scar, but not by much. Speaking of his hair, he's still allowed to have his long hair. He gets some sort of preferential treatment, but only because he can explain why he does the things he does. Like going to night school in a tutu. He explained it off as extra training because he felt his dodging technique was not up to par. So if he has to protect a tutu, his dodging would get better and force him to practice it more. And that's how he gets away with shit. Great drawing. Thank you, Paul. Well, we're gonna put that up. Gonna get some gum and put that up. And then go for the final prompt. So you guys know what that means? Gonna turn that off real quick to give you guys a chance. There we go. Final prompt. What's it gonna be? Wheel of Morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. Barely. Tug Pro Player Peach. This is Peach in an original design, so she's probably not gonna be in the shop either. Sadly enough. But hey, rules are rules. Big company official designs? Yes. Fan-made designs? I cannot, sadly. There she is. Now keep your point, I beg you. Now what's going on with Tug Pro Player is basically it's a tug of war. So I'm going to try and draw her a little smaller so we can at least see a bit of the skirt. And when sketching, preferably, even if you're not going to show some element, sketch everything. That's how you're going to get the clothes on correctly on your drawing. But I know why people ask me a lot of Mario stuff. It's because of the Smack comics. People love the Smack comics. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Big fan of all the compliments. Actually, I'm doing the opposite of complaining right now because, yay! People like our stuff. Oh, pencils. Snap, crackle, pop. There goes my fingers. One more sip because it's very important to stay hydrated. May offer you a nice Kool-Aid in these trying times. For all I know, this is a fetish. Every time I see a prompt that is like oddly specific, I always assume it's a fetish. But hey, it's safe for work, so as safe for work as it is drawing Princess Peach wrapped in rope. Somebody's going to report me just for that. Even if this is just like tug of war rope, not the other kind. No, something happened. Tamari, did good. Just subscribe. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining the party, Tamari. Assuming I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I apologize as usual. But thank you very much. Very appreciated. I'm like, ooh, sound, something happened, woo! I'm very far from my computer, so that's why I'm like, oh, what happened? Ah! My notifications are, like, way over there. That's why I put sounds on my notifications. The other reason is not distance, it's ADHD. Give her a little bit of a neck, which apparently I forgot to do. All around her collar. Now do some movement lines. I think I got all the details. More coiling rope. There we go. Okay. Going good, but then again, this is my art, so of course it's going good. I am so good. And proceed to grab the wrong dough. I don't need the sticky dough, I need the eraser dough. Dough! Warm up and stretch, and stretch, and stretch, and stretch, and stretch. Fuck off, fruit fly. Of course, I gotta use the bright yellow for her hair. Cela va sans dire. For those who are curious where I got my absolutely adorable Smudge Guard glove, it's at the BB Pins, BIBI Pins store. It's a website.com, I believe. She has tons of patterns if you're not a fan of the Yusaki Tsukino bedspread. Of course, Waluigi and Mothra are gonna go on in the store, so if you guys want these two, you gotta be fast. Because a lot of these, like, I put them up and they're gone in minutes. Like, I barely have the time to announce when they're up. So keep a close eye on my socials. Sovereign Official Facebook, Sovereign Official Xitter. Sovereign Official Blue Sky, Sovereign Official Instagram. I have a newsletter too, if you guys want to subscribe to that. I do post my live stream schedule on it. And I have some art supplies recommendation each month. It's a monthly newsletter. I keep finding new comic dubs of the Smack comics. I recently found one about the Wario's All Wit, which they titled Wario Got Wit. So I'm not too sure I understand how that works. And I do plan on talking about it sometimes this month. If I would just change one thing of that specific fan dub, I would really like it if Waluigi would back up from his microphone. He's a little close. He's a little close. So whoever voices Waluigi in that Wario Got Wet comic dub, back up a little bit. That's all I'm asking. You're not a bad Waluigi. I'm just asking you, back up from your mic a little bit. I aim to help, not discourage. Because what kind of artist would I be if I would try to discourage people? I know the answer to that one. I would be a pretty shitty one. And we're not going for that. I may be a goblin, but I'm a nice goblin sometimes. Not asking much here. Oh, something happened. Contribution to my sharpener. Thank you, Annan. Thank you, Paul. We all know it's you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're saving my colored pencils. Each contribution saves one Prismacolor. I pronounced it in French again. Oh my god, what am I going to do? Stay French, probably, because that's my first language. I'm French. As if the accent didn't tip you guys off. Gonna hang her up. Gonna let her dry. And we're going to go back to Sylvie and Philia and color them. And everybody's gonna be colored and happy and joy of joys. Damn, did I really push that hard on my blue pencil? Apparently I did. No? Fine. We will use the heavy artillery. This is a sand eraser, usually used to erase tone or sometimes ink. So yeah, it's going to affect the texture of the paper. But that's to be expected. It's a very hard, very rough eraser. Why are you so blue? What happened to you? Probably some airbrushing that I didn't protect properly. C'est bien moins ça. Of course, we are going to color Philia's skin with the prettier brown, because guess what? Philia is a little black girl. I am currently wondering if I should do, they both have black hair, if I should do the hair in black, in actual black. I am allowed, after all. Give her a little brown shoe. I was about to fill in his eye, but then I thought, wait a second, that's not gonna work. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do their hair in actual black. Trying to do a more Toriyama-ish style of a hair shine, where he uses the marker to give a more blocky look to his highlights. Of course, he also uses gray to add color to his shading, but that I'm not going to do. I'm allowed black. The rules don't say anything about gray. Same goes for Philia's black hair. Very blocky, very geometrical highlights done with the marker itself. While I got her, I'm going to put a little shading. Boop. And of course, that side of Sylvain's face is severely discolored. It's actually purple in the design. So this is what we're going to do. And so as to not overwhelm the drawing, I'm going to be using this bright orange for the accents of her dress and not the whole dress. And I will do the same for Sylvain's glove. And then use the same color for the dark part of his outfit. And then layer with the brown to at least make it look a little different. And same goes for his glove. While I'm here, I'm gonna layer a bit more to add a bit of shading. There we go, a bit of shading in here too. This is going to be a little harder to shade his actual face. Slight brown shading over here on the top part of his quote-unquote armor. Put the orange as the color inside their mouth, if only so they could get cut out from the background a little bit. Little healthy blush on her cheeks. Gonna darken that eye a little bit more. There we go. We're just gonna add a little bit of texture around them. And there we go. You don't want to try and shade too much with this type of color, because it's gonna go from values to muddy real fast. But here you go, Sylvanphilia. We're almost done. We're down to the last prompt. Better in camera. Another sip. And let's clean her up. They don't even really need to dry that long. Chameleon liners, one of the reasons I like them is that they get absorbed in the paper and they dry like incredibly fast. What I don't like is I apparently do not have the ability to buy them by the unit. And that is a real problem, because nobody uses up all the colors at the same time ever in the history of ever. Now, of course, I have no choice. I have to use the bright orange for her hair. Now that I can change shade, sorry, however I want. With the more Sailor Moon-esque shine that I use. Going to use the really nice brown for the effects, and the sickly green ochre, yellow ochre, sorry, for the rope, so that it pops out more. I'm still on camera? Yeah, okay. You never know. Sometimes I can forget. Gotta put that bright orange in her eyes too. Why? Because I said so. Here's something I actually like to do in the comic is darken the middle of the jewels on Peach before I put the shine. I don't know, I feel it adds a little depth. I like depth. I think it was pretty clear. Thanks for a fun show. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Paul. Thanks for coming. Of course, you got to keep in mind, if I didn't, I'm not the boss of that. If the Wheel of Morality didn't pick your suggestions, you're free to try again next month, you know? There's nothing stopping you from suggesting the same thing again if it didn't work the first time. You're free to try again and again and again until the Wheel of Morality finally picks you, you know? And with that, I am done. Youpididou, j'ai pas d'y croire. So we are going to put this away. It needs to be charged. We're going to back this up and put all cards. Back this up as much as the camera allows. Because once again, it's an elbow. It's not a gooseneck. So filthy. You too. Bah. So we have the last one, Princess Peach. And then we've had, I'm going to put this here, Sylvain and Philia, Waluigi, and finally, Mothra, and Lily singing the song of her people. Because my mom has no control over a 14-pound dog. From the sound of it, it's either my sister or my uncle and my aunt. Because she just had that little meaning that she's happy to see the person that's there. And now, the cards are done. You know what that means. End card time with extra special caramel drizzle chocolate covered thanks to our supporters, Amber B, Paul K, Miss Anavis, David F, Marianne J, Supreme Crimson Leader. Your continued support is immensely appreciated. Of course, there is going to be a Bootleg Cookie live stream tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. I had a lot of fun drawing it, especially Mothra. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time again. I love you all, and bye-bye.